Hey guys, I don't know about you, but it's been quite a while since I last used Photoshop. I stopped for a number of reasons. I feel like Adobe is no longer able to come up with anything new in terms of photo editing. Sure, there have been some improvements like the introduction of neural networks, but they are still somewhat raw. But nonetheless, Adobe want you to pay them every month. They might be changing something deep inside the software, but I as an average user can appreciate the changes. That is why I haven't been using Adobe products for 6 months. Instead, I turned to alternatives. This is what I'm going to talk about today. There are tons of other interesting photo editors out there, even free options. So in this video, we'll have a look at the top 5 free Photoshop alternatives for photo editing. Give this video a thumbs up and let's get rolling. Coming in on number 5 is Paint. Sure, this might sound ridiculous. After all, this software has been here since the dawn of Windows times. But I'm not talking about the regular Paint that you used to doodle in. There is the Paintnet software. It's free and it was last updated in March of 2022. The program's interface looks like an interface of any Microsoft program. The toolbar resembles that of Photoshop, but the toolkit is rather scarce. There are filters that you can apply to your pics. The software has a history panel, which is quite similar to the one in Photoshop. Unlike the regular Paint, this version has layer-based editing, which is a huge plus. Overall, Paintnet is no professional photo editor, but it at least gives you the necessary tools for photo manipulation. Layer editing is a nice touch, but its efficiency is questionable. You can barely select the object of the photo since there is no pen tool. Granted, you can use the lasso tool, but one single switch of the mouse and your selection is ruined. That is why Paintnet is the 5th in our list. Further entries will be more interesting. If a photo editor is free doesn't mean that it's bound to be bad. Case in point, Lightzone. This is more of a Lightroom alternative. This is a free editor that has the same tools as a regular photo editor, but their placement is something puzzling. The interface is a very important aspect of a program. It is a truth that Lightzone developers don't seem to believe. The software offers tons of colorful buttons on the toolbar. Their functions remain unknown until you click them. On the plus side, the program allows masking, which means you can edit your images locally. The developers publish their releases on GitHub. This means that if you are good at coding, you can stuff this software with all the tools you might need. After all, Lightzone isn't exactly full of awesome features, but it has all the basics, which is nice. This software might be useful for quick fixes. For instance, if you work at a photo lab and just need to enhance an ID photo or just correct dynamic range, this editor will do the job, provided you can make heads or tails of it. Up next is Raw Therapy. This software has a better interface than Paintnet and especially Lightzone, but there are still some issues about it. Judging by the name, this program is mostly aimed at raw processing. The WAS toolkit is the proof. The software offers exposure correction, the curves, HSL, a cropping tool, and other features you might need. However, the editor's ergonomics is subpar. In my humble opinion, it is inconvenient to work in. There are tons of icons, sliders, fine print text. It's way too much to take in. There is the history panel, which is awesome, and if you are able to get a grip on the workflow, editing will be easy and efficient. Actually, the workflow in Raw Therapy is quite similar to Photoshop. First, you need to understand each tool in order to use it for your causes. By the way, the software is free, so it is definitely worth a try. Let's move on. Next comes comes PhotoWorks. This is a nice editor for Windows which might as well be the best Photoshop alternative, albeit with a smoother interface. First off, each tool has a description. There is a toolbar on the left that features some of the more popular instruments. On the right there is the inspector panel with the settings for each tool. The interface is split into tabs, prompting a step-by-step approach. First comes the enhancement tab. Here you can correct the color balance, adjust HSL, increase sharpness in case your image is blurry. Next comes the tools tab, where you'll see cropping, geometry correction, background change, noise removal, in case you have artifacts after increasing sharpness or shooting in poor lighting conditions. After that comes the retouch tab. It allows you to erase wrinkles, edit the body and things like that. Further on is the effects tab that lets you stylize and creatively edit your images. PhotoWorks has a certain downside, however, as its layer editing is basic at best. However, you can still overlay 2 or more images, but if you are into photobashing, use hundreds of layers when editing, or you draw digital art, this software isn't up your alley. In case you simply need to enhance your images, it's the perfect choice. If you regularly shoot many pictures at once, you'll love the batch processing feature. For instance, if you just had a wedding or a graduation photo shoot and all the images were taken in relatively similar conditions, there is no need to fix every single photo separately. Open dozens of them at once and perform the editing. If you think that batch processing requires much RAM power, it's not the case with PhotoWorks. It works just fine even on older PCs. This isn't exactly freeware, however. You get a whole 5 days of free trial, and once they expire, you only need to pay a really low price. What's more, as a bonus, you can get PhotoWorks at a huge discount. Just follow the link in the description. And we move on. I've mentioned photo bashing in this video, so I feel it's fitting to talk about a program aimed at this digital art. Meet Krita. This software has all the essential photo editing tools, but it is still initially aimed at people who practice digital art. Krita lets you both create art from scratch or manipulate and draw over your photos. It has a customizable interface. If you leave it as it is, you have the toolbar on the left, the brushes and layers on the right. There are about 30 additional panels that you can engage or disengage. If you are a seasoned Photoshop user and looking for a program with a similar ergonomics, then you'll have fun with Krita. Still, I wouldn't recommend this software for regular color correction. If you plan to install Krita, there is one thing you need to know. It costs around $9 on Steam, but the official website claims that the software is free and only relies on user and community contributions. I find it really weird, but probably it's just that sellers demand money for publications. I'm not sure, but I thought you should know. And that's it for today. If you are new to our channel, make sure to watch our other videos on photo editor. If you have go-to free programs as well, let us know in the comments. It's bye for now. Hope to see you next time.